The Travel Channel was very mainstream, I would say. It was very much the point of view of me and all of my feelings, how I felt being in a place and sort of my overview of things. The show that I do now is called Samantha Brown's Places to Love, and it airs on your local PBS station, over 320 stations. It's a show that I own. So 10 years ago, I think, Travel Channel just let me go. And I was like, okay. But I still loved what I did, but I knew I wanted to do something differently than I had been doing with them for so long. Honestly, I didn't know what that was for a little while, but I met this woman named Kara Wilson in Oregon, and she is in a wheelchair, but she owns this massive ranch in Oregon. And I met her at a state tourism event, and I was like, what are you doing here if you own a cattle ranch? What are you doing at a tourism event? She's like, well, you could stay in my house, my former house, which was a Sears and Roebuck catalog house. I mean, her history goes back. But I loved her. I loved her grit, and I just couldn't believe. And then you could spend the day doing a city slicker kind of thing with her or overnight. And I just thought, boy, I want to do a show where people like me know that people like you exist. And that's just basically the whole concept of the show is uncovering. And it's not necessarily off the beaten path places. It's just you didn't know to look there, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really finding the people, but I can't call it People to Love because you would think that was a travel show. So it's called Places to Love.
Isn't that interesting?
But the reason why you love it are the people. Mm-hmm. It was just sort of an antithesis of Travel Channel work because now the show, even though it has my name on it, it's not about me. It's really about uncovering the place through its people. All of the things that I do are things that everyone has access to. I don't get VIP access. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things are free, actually, just like public parks and public spaces that we all have access to. But it's really about really understanding the people. And they do something that is accessible to everyone. So we don't do things that no one's ever going to be able to do. Or we meet the people who create businesses and organizations that make places better. And then we find out about the place through them. It's not me kind of giving you my sort of overview. Well, Houston is like this and this. It's like I let the people tell you who they are. And so, but yeah, I've been doing that for close to 10 years now as well. So it's been great. And just the difference is I own the show, which I'm really proud of. And I think people don't understand that. Like I raise all the money myself with my husband. We own a production company and we hire a team of 7 other people and we go to these places all around the world and then give it back to public television for free. But then I own everything. I own, what we do. I own the creative. I own the physical show as well. And so there's a lot of benefit to being the owner of a travel program.
I actually would love to ask you a little more about that because you had such a contrast by showing up and you were, probably scripted to an extent and expected to be XYZ. And I mean, it's Travel Channel. Like we expect that, right? But having that switch, now being able to say, this is what I want to talk about. This is who I want to talk about. These are the places that I want to go. How do you feel as that massive transition? Because this is what you were known for before, and now being able to create your own thing and celebrate your own genius, really. What does it feel like to step into that role?
Feels great. It just feels more authentic, right? I have such enthusiasm for it that I think people, catch on to that. But also I'm in a really great space with public television. The people who watch public television are curious about the world and they want to know. They don't want to know the top 5s. They've already been to the top 5s.
Yeah, probably.
And they're a very well-traveled group of people. They've already done that, and they've done that 20 years ago, and they want to know what to do now, and mostly how to connect with this world. So I know my audience well, and I know that they're really interested in ways that go far, far beyond the mainstream narrative of travel. And so it's a really great partnership with that. It's wonderful. With the Travel Channel, it was never scripted. I was always the person who, on camera, I was that person. And then there might be some VO scripted for me, but I had no editing rights. And that's where...
Right.
That's exactly. That was the difference. I had no editing rights. And so if they wanted to portray me as one way, or if they wanted to edit out things that I felt like, that's why we were there, it didn't matter. That wasn't the show. This is the show. And so being able to have the editing, the creative control over a show is everything. Yeah.